The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Horrible Gamers Podcast, episode 480, coming to you March 17th, 2025. Almost at 500 episodes. We're getting close. We're getting close. And I am Gunny Chief, aka Henry of Scalets. And joining me today, I've got the Mayo with mustard and ketchup. What's going on, Mayo?
Hey, what's up, Gunny? How's it going?
Going pretty good. Thanks for putting ketchup on my weenie today or yesterday. I appreciate that. A little mayo and mustard on my sausage.
Tell everybody our secrets.
We're going to talk about that later. I did go to the doctor today. I had to go get a tetanus shot, measles shot, blood work. The whole thing. So anyway, we're going to talk about that later. So go ahead and add us on. Yes, for those that are listening, go on Spotify if you're not listening to us on there, and give us some stars over there. I think you can put like 3 stars on Spotify, and follow us over on X, not Twitter, X at _horrible gamers. Leave us a review on iTunes. Just go over to the iTunes app or on the web. Give us 5 stars over there. And we do have a Facebook group called Horrible Gamers Podcast Community at facebook.com/groups/horrible gamers. It's a private group. Anyone can join. I think you just have to answer a couple questions over there. And obviously, we're over on Discord. Just ask us for the link. I don't know if I do put that on Twitter, and that is also in the Facebook group as well. So, yeah, join us over on Discord. We're always up in Discord. That's what we're recording on. Yeah. And we'll go to Redbubble as well. You can shop for our stuff over there. We got redbubble.com. We got clocks and blocks and all kinds of stuff over there. We have stickers and shower curtains. So yeah, check out our merch over there. We don't really make anything on there, but yeah, we've got some cool items over there. And our intro song is brought to you by Phantom X, Twister, and Falex Breakout. And I don't know about our outro song, Mayo. Which one do you put on there for the outro song? Is it Rug for Free Night Owl? Do we always put that one on there?
That one.
Yeah, that's my favorite one on there. So yeah, but anyway, we're here to talk about video games and food and movies and whatever else is on our mind. So
there you go.
But I'm just going to jump right into it, Mayo, because I did brought up the fact that you did put I keep saying mayo, ketchup and mustard on my weenie. And and of course,
it wasn't just me. You did the same to me over here.
And I'm just going to set this up.
This was paid back.
I'm going to set this up because this game we're talking about here is Split Fiction that just came out, and this is supposed to be your story, Mel. This is your story, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of crazy shit that you wrote. I'm trying to think if as a character, you're like, hey, this is your story. What's going on? What's happening? And my story is science fiction over here, and you're more fantasy based.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we were playing our roles over there, and my character was the fantasy, and for some reason we were pigs. And
farting pigs. Well, I was the farting pig.
Yeah.
You were the spring pig.
Yeah, that one didn't make as much sense to me. The farting one was kind of funny, but being a spring was kind of weird.
That was cool to watch. That was cool to watch you as a character. I'm like, how do we get up there to get the green apple? And you're like, I'll just spring over there. I can fart, so I can make like a far. I can go a long distance, but yeah, I couldn't reach, much higher than steps. So, but that was a lot of fun. But yeah, this is Split Fiction. This is from Joseph. I can't remember his last name. What is the game that he made?
There was what It Takes Two and A Way
Oh,
Out.
he
What was the
A
other
Way
one?
Out. That's right. He did do both of those. So that one's from like Farlight Studios. I've actually forgot the name of it. But yeah, these are critically acclaimed. This game's already reached like what 2 million in sales or somewhere in
Yeah,
that
2
range.
million, 2 million players or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and also this game is like all I had to do was just if you just go to Steam or Xbox or PlayStation, you just download the Buddy client. I think you're basically downloading the game without owning it, and whoever purchased the game is able to host it. So I thought
Mhm.
that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then I ended up picking the game up on Steam. It does have crossplay too, like, so, Gunny, if you would've been on your Xbox, you could've played on your Xbox, and I could've been on PC. But,
Oh,
I
cool.
just figured it was easier to do it this way because on PC, you don't have to pay for playing online, and that
Yeah.
way yes, I thought about playing it with one of our good old friends, Normie. She kinda wanted to play a game together, but she doesn't have Live. So, I was like, "Well, I can still get it on PC." And I could always maybe gift her a month of Live or something like that, and we could play together, but yeah, it does have crossplay. So
I didn't even think about that. Now that I've mostly moved over to PC, and I do turn the old Xbox X on every so often, but I didn't realize I probably don't have access to Live over there. I'm able to. Oh, that's true. That is right because I did turn it on at my other house location, and it reminded me for it might have been I forgot what game it was, but it kind of let me know that like hey, you cannot play with co-op on this device or whatever. And and even at first it even said like it might have been Space Marine 2, and I think it even said like, "Hey, you don't own this game." And then it said, "Wait a minute, yes, you do own this game, but you can't play uh co-op or online." So, makes sense. Yeah, 12.99 versus I think I don't even know what it is now for like I'd have to get like a second tier or whatever for Xbox Gold. So but neither here or there. So I played as these are two female characters. You play as Mio and Zoe. So I think I was
Mio.
Mio, and you were Zoe. So Zoe was more fantasy. But what did you think of that at first, Mio? Because I did kind of hear about it in a podcast where Mio does complain a lot. Like even at first, she's a real Debbie Downer.
Yeah, yeah, she was a little cranky early on. She's the one that kinda caused the issue we ran into in the game where we were getting hijacked into this machine, and she decided to change her mind last minute and fight the makers of the machine, and then you got knocked into my machine, basically, in my
You're
world, Gunny.
more,
You
yeah, you're more
invaded
like your
mine.
bubble. Yeah.
Yeah, you invaded my space over here, and then next thing I know, you're in my story, and we had to get through it. But then it was kinda weird because you joined my story, but a lot of it was the science fiction part that we played early on.
Yeah, that was the first part. I do feel like it was more science fiction than fantasy.
At
Yeah,
least
yeah,
early
you're right.
on,
I didn't
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Because we only really did, like, in the fantasy part, we did the part with the ogres at the very beginning, where we just kinda had to run through and one was chasing us. And then we did right before we stopped when we could shapeshift, and, that was interesting how we could change into 2 different, what, beings, if you wanna call it that, where you were like the gorilla and the
Yeah.
fish, and I was the fairy and the, character that looked like Groot, you know? So
Yeah. Yeah. It was like a it wasn't a fish, it was more like a I don't know, like an iguana or like a big lizard or something. Yeah, I'm
oh,
gonna say
okay.
more of an iguana is what my character look I mean, because when you were the gorilla, like, you can climb on the vines above. So I'm thinking, like and there's so many different, like, video game, uh, what do you call them? Is it not tropes, but more like I don't call them callbacks or whatever, but it was like, "Oh, okay, we see here, this is like Cyberpunk or,
Oh,
um,
yeah, like
Mass Effect," or yeah, like, there were so many
yeah,
different
a bunch of nods from either movies or video
a lot
games,
of
or
nods, yeah.
it would give us, like, a feeling of say, I know we mentioned that a couple of times where, like, this kinda feels like, What was the one sci-fi movie with Bruce? Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
what,
The
Blade
Fifth
Runner?
Element.
No.
The Fifth Element.
Oh, Fifth Element. Yeah, yeah. Because I
Yeah,
brought that up. Yeah. But
and then
yeah, I was thinking too. There was like some Warcraft in there, possibly. Not that I ever played those games, or some kind of Baldur's Gate style. Yeah. Like there's a lot of things you'll recognize. I'm sure as people play this game. Like, yeah, definitely see the different nods in video games going with this. But and we also did like I don't know if it was like a little side thing where Mayo just wanted to kind of progress through. We were in this sci-fi level, and it was like I was like, oh, I'm gonna kind of divert a little bit. You're like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm gonna go over here. So I don't know if I did like a little side thing. I don't know,
oh
but it
yeah,
kind
where
of
we ended up in a different area. We had like an option, I think, to
yeah.
touch the bubble together, and I think it would. We didn't know what it meant at the time, but it was to maybe go to a science fiction world. Instead we stayed in the sci-fi world.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I thought we did like we had to touch it or whatever. But that totally reminded me of like Portal. Did it not to you? Because you were able to come to my side, and
Yeah.
this is where I kind of diverted. I had like veered off basically, and like I had to take this ball, and I thought I had to put it in like this little baseball or a basketball hoop, but then you were like, no, throw it to me, and then you were able to do something with that, or get over to my side, and then you were breaking windows, like so that you can come down and meet me. So that was pretty cool. I'm kind of glad that I had done that. So because I don't know, I don't even know. Maybe that was the way we were supposed to go, but it was still pretty cool. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I had a
The
lot of fun. But
game,
yeah,
yeah, the game was a lot of fun to start off. It started off with a lot of action right away. I was really surprised how quick it picked up. Like that first little thing when they showed in the sci-fi where we were dodging the cars and the explosions, and we jumped on that ship, and you were driving, and I was shooting the little what was it, like police car
like
things? Where they
yeah,
were kind of, yeah, what it was now, but they
and then
were.
you were taking the barrels, and then like you would have to break something or throw those at enemies. Yeah, and then I was able to like I had a sword, and then you had like this like electrical whip or something.
Hmm. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
could control gravity. There's certain items I could interact with, and then you could like use your sword, right? And you could like kind of teleport, but then you would be like on my ceiling or like on my walls, but on your screen you're kind of like turned the right way, so it would mess with gravity a little bit. Like I'd see you running
Yeah.
around, you're on my walls, and
Right. So that was pretty cool how we would be on the same floor, and then all of a sudden like here I am, like I'm on the side, right? And then I might
hmm,
be upside down, right? Yeah. And
yeah,
then I would glance over to your side cuz this is totally split screen. Oh, it's what you see. So, yeah. And then yeah, but so overall I felt like yeah, that was like pretty easy to get through, and some parts were a little difficult. Like, okay, what do we do? Like, we did have grappling hooks, and then some parts you couldn't see, like where, like, oh, we're supposed to grapple over here, and then, like, it would show like RB on the thing for the shoulder button for the controller, and yeah, just some of those that were like, oh shoot, I forgot to double jump, then dash, then get over. Yeah, but overall, yeah, a
yeah,
lot of parkour.
yeah. Very straightforward controls, but you just kind of had that do that jump, that double jump, and then the dashboard to maybe then hit RB to whip across something or grapple hook to something. And there's this kind of constant moving. There's like things that were chasing you or something like that where you had to be moving all the time, and so you had to go through it quickly. You couldn't just like look around and try to figure it out. But a lot of little easy puzzles and just little things to figure out, but just things that made sense, but nothing too difficult. And I don't know, it was a pretty fun game so far. So far, it's probably my favorite one of the ones I played of these. I played the It Takes Two with my son, and it was fun as well. But I'm enjoying this one a lot more than I did that one.
Yeah, and I never played a Way Out or It Takes Two, so definitely seeing like gameplay, but never actually got the chance to play them. So yeah, that was cool. Like yesterday, you were like, "Oh, come in, download the client. Let's go. I was like, hell yeah. I'm ready to play something different. Let's move.
Yeah, and
But
not bad for a $50 game as well. Not even full price $70 game.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can have the second player play for free, and I think this game's pretty long. I know It Takes Two was quite a long game as well. I remember thinking I played a whole bunch of that with my son, and we weren't even halfway yet. And so I'm not sure what the time to beat is in this game yet, but it definitely a long game.
Yeah. So get to that part where we enter that fantasy. I think it was after we were pigs or whatever. And then I don't know, like all of a sudden, like we were both hot dogs and we are supposed to you had to turn the grill on and then we had to be on the grill, but then we burnt ourselves and we died. And then it was like, oh, okay, let's kind of start over again and then kind of, hobble, I don't know, jump, as a hot dog onto the grill and only stay on there for a couple seconds. And then I was immediately going for the bun. Mayo's like, whoa, don't forget, you got to put ketchup and mustard on each other. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of a weird, like, we were just
yeah.
doing normal sci-fi or fantasy stuff, and then next thing you know, we were pigs, and then we fell in that grinder thing,
Oh, that's right. I thought we died. I thought that was,
we were hot dogs. We were like,
yeah.
and then we could kind of roll, and we had to jump on that spatula remember I had to turn the grill on, and then we jumped up on the grill, and we had to roll around on the grill to cook ourselves. We ended up overcooking ourselves the first time, and we died. Remember, like, we turned like pitch black, and then
Yeah. Like
we
we were
just, like,
totally burnt.
died,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the next time we just kinda rolled back off, then we found the mayo stuff or the ketchup and the mustard and the hot dog buns. We found out you had to, like, literally squirt ketchup and mustard on each other and then roll into the hot dog buns, and then we're eaten
Yeah. Then
by
we were
a kid.
consumed by some picnic goer.
And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, we were I can't remember, maybe back to the sci-fi world
I
or
think we
science.
did go to sci-fi because then that's when we got on the Tron bike. Like it was a Tron. Well, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it was like Tron light-ish or whatever. Like it wasn't. Yeah. Well, at least that's what I think it was. But
This game is just so wild though, like, even just, like, hearing our conversation, it's like we're all over the place, but the game was all over the place. Like it was
yeah,
you
it
didn't know
was.
what to expect. We were like, next 1 second we're doing sci-fi, and next thing we know we're ogres, and the next thing we know we're riding a Tron bike and fighting a giant ball with the one charges for parking tickets or something like that. Remember, and it was like, I'm gonna throw you under the bus, and it would throw a bus at us, and
Oh
it had all
yes,
this
yes, that
stuff
boss
going
fight.
on, and
Yeah,
and
yeah, that
so
was a trip.
it was just like a lot of chaos. We were pigs and hot dogs and all sorts of stuff early on. So I'm curious where this game is going to take us, but yeah. So it's a fun, 2-player co-op game. You do have to play this with another person is the downside. So like, you can't play this game by yourself. So if you do pick it up, you do have to have somebody else to play with you. I don't think you can control both people. I don't think you can do just one single player and switch people. So you have to have both people at the same time. So this is for sure a 2-player game,
Yeah,
and you got to have somebody else. And so maybe that's why it's only $49, because if I just had a desire to play it tonight and nobody was around, I couldn't play it, in all honesty, because I'd have to just like find a random maybe.
yeah. I think there. I think I did see like even though I don't own the full game, there was like a search button or whatever to search for a player.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I wonder if that search was like probably for other people that own the game as well. So I assume, yeah, like if you bought it on Steam, it's probably going to search for Steam friends or yeah, who knows?
Yeah, because I can invite anybody that. What I'm curious about, which I don't know how it's going to work, is like, say if I wanted to start playing with my son, how it would save per se. Like if I wanted to start over with him, so he could experience the beginning of the game and pick a character, and him and I would play through it. But I wanted to keep our save so we could go back and play the game as well. I don't know how that works. I think what happens is we unlock chapters in the main menu, and like if I was to play with him, I think we just have to go back to chapter 1 and just start.
Yeah, I
Is
would
what I
think, right?
think.
And then you could always like because it was
Come
weird,
back
like
with
on
you
my
where we
screen,
stopped.
since I don't own it, and then I noticed on my screen, like there was nothing like as far as like any kind of go to the next chapter, load this chapter, nothing. But I did look over on your screen, Mail, and I saw that you had all those options where I didn't. So yeah, for me, it was just one continuous like go, go, go,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Like I felt like I was playing
Mm.
like a very long opening cutscene, like or not a cutscene, but yeah, just more gameplay. So that was
And I do
different
want
for
to
me.
throw out there real quick too that this game is installed, so it's not streaming. So like when Gunny was playing, he did have to install the game, so it wasn't like I
Yeah,
was streaming my game to you or nothing like that. So it was no lag or nothing like that. The connection was fine. It was just like we were just playing a two-player game online. Like
yeah,
it's pretty seamless.
yeah, it's not like yeah, if somebody's thinking like, what's that thing called on Steam, by the way, that we think we did it with like one of the cooking games or whatever.
Oh yeah, I can't remember what that was called. It was like where you can let your friends play your game. You can invite them to play a two-player split
Yeah,
screen game.
something
I-
like that. Yeah, yeah, like yeah, there was like, and there was lag playing those, but this game, no, like this is not one of those things.
right. Yeah, this is
So,
a full install to where the other version you wouldn't install the game. You was just kind of streaming the game, and you could see what was on my screen, and
right.
we were playing on the same screen. With this wheel, we would have that at times, right? So we would have the same screen sometimes where our characters would come together, but a lot of times we had split screen going on. Like so since we got into different areas or whatever, we would split on the screen. But then when we were in the same area, it would like mesh back together. So it was kind of nice.
Yeah, I'd say
Very,
probably
very
96% of
fluid.
the time, yeah, it was all split screen. So yeah, but overall pretty fun. So I like it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
definitely it's I want to keep on playing right now. So it's something definitely worth checking out if those kind of games interest you and you had somebody you wanted to play with.
yeah, 100%. But other than that, like anything else that you played? Any good Steam sale games that you might have
Um
picked up or
no,
might interest you?
I did look at the store real quick, but I was so determined to pick up Split Fiction that I didn't pick up anything else. I may have to go revisit it and see if there's anything in there that I would like to pick up. And really just besides that, I haven't really played much on the PC this week. I've been playing a little bit of Gran Turismo yet on the PlayStation, and still enjoying that game. Like just still collecting cars, still trying to beat these different races. So they have these menu books, right, Gunny? And so like it's a series of races, and they have these ones that like the higher end cars get really fast and really hard to control in this game. Like they are some really fast vehicles. Like there was one, it's like 1,400 horsepower, but it's really light, and it's like a prototype, and it's like these. It's called like the Vision series, and this thing is so quick. It's so hard to control. Like it's just so difficult. Like I have a hard time finishing like in the top 10. And it's the game going from being really easy for the most part to really difficult like on these races, and so I have a really hard time. And then the standard races went into a section where now it's fuel management and tire management. This game has a what they call a fuel map where the car can run lean or rich. And if you put it like it has like a 1 through 6 setting while you're driving, and you can put it to like run rich, and you'll have basically like a full powered car, but you're using way more gas. And then you can put it on lean where it cuts back some of your power, but you're going to conserve gas. And so you got to do so many laps. You're like, okay, do how many? It tells you how much fuel you have left. That's okay. I got enough for 7 laps out of the 10 running on the rich side, so I need to back it off a little bit and run lean at some point in time, or I need to pit and get new tires because the tires are getting worn out. So like you got to kind of figure that out, and stuff like that too. So it adds that dimension and stuff. But it's been fun. It's been really challenging though. It's not like regular like other racing games I play where it's not as challenging. It's just like holy cow, these are hard,
Yeah,
especially
reminds
with
me
the
of
tire management and
Formula 1, like how they do that's how they do their games. Well, besides there is like a fuel management. Well, I'm trying to remember, but it doesn't have like, rich or lean different
And
things like
that's
that.
something they don't even really talk about, like, in the game much. They just kinda just throw it at you. Like, it's in the center on your HUD, and you can, like, use your D-pad and push over, and it will show like a live radar, like weather radar. You can see like if it's going to rain or not, and then it has like a 3D map. It has a thing where it shows like where cars are at in your proximity, you know, and there are different things it will show for your cars and there you can adjust. You can adjust your traction control strength on there. Like it has a thing for your traction control, and you can change it on the fly. And so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, the higher levels I'm at now, it's like you got to constantly kind of watch that stuff and just watch your tire usage and watch your fuel usage and all that kind of stuff, and it makes it considerably more challenging. Um,
Yeah,
and then the
that's
other thing,
awesome. Yeah, yeah.
the only other thing I've been playing really is a little bit of Astrobot, still here and there. I think I'm officially halfway through now. Um, I think there's 301 bots to collect, and I'm at like 152. So that's kind of like how I know I maybe right at the midpoint in the maps too, but I have not been progressing, leaving a world until I find every single bot on that map because it tells you at the beginning of the map like what you accomplished or missing. And so if I realize I'm missing like one bot somewhere, I go back in and try to find it and play that level until I do find it. So so I've been just kind of working my way through. So everything I've done so far is 100% all the way through, and just kind of slowly working my way through it. I
You got
did
a plat.
find
You got a platinum this game. I see.
I may naturally platinum it. Yeah. There's some other things too though. When you go back to the one planet, like it's like with they call it the crash site. There's like other things there. There's like this vending machine in there, right? And it uses your coins that you find in the levels, and it takes like 100 coins, and you can pull out like a ball with this claw, and it'll have like an item in it, and you break the ball, and it'll give you like skins. It'll give you like glider skins. It'll give you a character skin and stuff like that. So like there's like 150 different things to collect from that machine, and so you gotta basically get a lot of coins to be able to collect all that stuff. So you have to go back through and play some levels over. I don't know what the ratio is gonna be. Like if I'm getting enough coins to where I can just keep using that machine, collect everything pretty easy, or I'm gonna have to play a lot of levels over again, to get those coins to 100% that or not. I don't know, but
I would think you'd have to grind it, right, to get the
yeah, there's probably
coins.
gonna be a
Yeah.
little bit of grinding. The only thing I wish they would do a little more so is, so I'm not the hardcore PlayStation guy over here, like I'm enjoying the PlayStation stuff. I haven't played since like the PS2 days really. And they have the bots and they have like these little nods, to different, bots. The obvious ones like the God of War, like,
Like Kratos is in there. I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
like those are obvious, but there's ones I find and I'm like, who is that supposed to be? Like I'm like, I don't know. And they give you a little clue. It'll say like some little saying in the top corner, but even then, sometimes I don't figure it out. And I'm like, I don't even know who that bot is supposed to be. So there's times I just rescue him, and I'm like, okay, that's a PlayStation character because they tell you they have ones that are regular bots, and they have ones that are like, game inspired. And
So
so I'm
like
like,
so like
okay,
they will do some third party stuff or whatever.
yeah, yeah, they have
Like
like,
Metal Gear or whatever.
yep,
I
there's
don't know.
Metal Gear I've seen in
Game.
there. I have seen like, oh, like Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that, and you'll have like a Ratchet one and a Clank one, and um, yeah, they're just different characters. And some of them, I'm just like, I have no idea who this person is. I wish they would just tell me, but they just
Yeah.
straight up and say, or at least that when you go back to your home planet where you can look at them, that they would tell you who it is. Because I'm just like, I don't know who this guy even is in the PlayStation world.
There's probably a website out there that displays them all.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. But
Yeah,
I
with all
wish it
their
would just show it in
information.
game, so you wouldn't have to like go look it up anywhere.
Yeah. I think Forza Horizon, what is it, 5 is coming to PlayStation here, like really like this week, I think it is. Because I
Yeah,
just saw
yeah.
like all the trophies have been announced. Did you already play that on Xbox or do you plan on picking that
Yeah,
up on
I did not
PlayStation?
play that one very much on Xbox. I didn't enjoy it as well as the other ones. I
Hmm.
don't know if the formula is kind of starting to wear out. To me, it had a lot more off-road racing than the other ones.
I think it was Mexico. Was it
Yeah, it
5 that
was
was Mexico?
Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was Mexico, and it had like a lot of like Baja type stuff going on. You know, like you had a
Yeah.
lot more off road stuff, jungle stuff, and stuff like that. Where I enjoy more of the street racing ones and the road racing ones with the exotic cars and stuff like that. So the ones with the big jumps and all that are fun and stuff, but I kind of just enjoy the actual, like the street scene better for my own personal taste. So I think I like the last Forza Horizon better, but this one's still pretty good if you've never played them.
Yeah, I think 4, I did grab it a couple days before it was delisted on Steam because I think it was like less than like it was like 10 or $12. And I was like, "Oh, okay, let me." I mean, of course I have Game Pass, but when's the last time I've even owned an Xbox game, right? Because they're Game
Yeah.
Pass, right? But I thought, "Oh, $12, I can actually own a Game Pass an Xbox game." So, yeah, and for sure definitely pick that up. For some reason, like it didn't install like the DLC or something. I don't know. Hopefully that wasn't delisted or something. Even though it said like, oh, Steam always shows like, hey, this DLC was added.
Yeah.
If you bought like this premium edition or whatever, it'll be added to your game or whatever. But then it's weird, like it doesn't show that it's installed. So I don't know. But they
Yeah,
usually
'cause they
delist
had
those
some
games.
good
Yeah.
DLC because they had like the Hot Wheels DLC and stuff like that. That was some of my favorite stuff. Like I liked on the third game when they did that Hot Wheels section, I liked it better than the actual Hot Wheels game that they came out with later. Like I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
more entertaining and the track was better done and with the speed boost and all that kind of stuff. I enjoyed it better than the actual Hot Wheel game itself.
Well, that
So
and those came out kind of after, right? Like,
yeah,
so I think you were talking about Forza Horizon 3, and then that's when the
yes,
first time it came out, I think, and then
I think it came out on 5. I think they skipped 4, and then it has a Hot Wheels edition on 5 now, I think.
which one had Lego? Was that 4?
Yeah, that was 4. That was fun
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that was cool. And then they had they did have like a battle royale on there, which was cool.
Mhm.
Might have been like even a battle royale Lego or whatever. Like, yeah, kind of throw it into the mix. That was fun. And yeah, I definitely bought on Forza Horizon 3. I know I bought like the season pass, which included, or I did buy them separately, which was, yeah, it was the Hot Wheels, and then they had another one with like, I don't know, it was like with the Ford F-150s or the trucks or something in the fog, and yeah, it wasn't that great. It wasn't until Hot Wheels came out DLC that I had a lot of fun on. And yeah, I don't know if you saw Mayo too, but the Hot Wheels games, and then they even have like a phone version of those games.
Mhm.
You can play it on Android or iOS. So they brought it to everything. But yeah, I don't even know the price on that. I don't know if you could pull that up, Mayo, to see how much that's going to be on over on PlayStation. Maybe a release date for
Yeah, we'll
Forza
keep going. I'll look
Horizon
it up here.
5.
I'll have to log into my PlayStation Store online.
Yeah, or you can probably just Google it, see what it says on there. So, but yeah, I know that's coming soon, and then I think Starfield might be coming also to. I wouldn't say might. It's definitely coming to PlayStation. So it's just a question of when it's coming. So I don't know if that's the next one up, but yeah. Other than that, anything else?
So yeah,
Anything
just
else on?
the standard edition is going to be $60, and the deluxe edition is going to be 79, and the premium edition is going to be 100 for the
Premium at 100?
PS5.
Jeez.
Yes.
So $40 more. Yeah. So there's probably a couple different DLCs for that one. So yeah, and then they always
And
come out with there's like
I
the
don't know
car
if it's gonna
pass and all
have
kinds of other stuff.
yeah, like, I never messed with, like, all that stuff. When I played the game off Game Pass, I never did any of the car pass. I do wonder if they're gonna put support for their PlayStation controller in here, because that's something I do enjoy on my racing games with the haptic feedbacks on the triggers and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some tension and stuff on the brake and the gas pedal, and it makes some noise when you're running over, like, the rumble strips and stuff, and sometimes there's like shifting noise coming out of the speakers, stuff like that. I do kind of enjoy that in a racing game. So that'd be kind of
Yeah.
neat if they had it on here.
Oh, I'm sure they will, right? No doubt, right? So why wouldn't they? Like now it's on officially on PlayStation. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna have the haptic feedbacks. So definitely, yeah. Hmm. Because remember, Mayo, I called it. Remember when they announced the PS5 and then they announced the uh the controller that haptic feedbacks and just all the details about it, and then and then finally the PlayStation 5 came out, and then I think we were talking. It was me, you, and Jesus. I remember we were sitting here, and I said, "How much do you guys want to bet that when these games come to Steam, eventually, right? Because there's not really a lot of exclusives nowadays. A lot of them are timed, right? So I was thinking of like it might have been Returnal. Was it Returnal or another game that maybe it was the first God of War 2018 that came out? And I was like, I'll bet you they're going to have the haptic feedbacks, right, for the
Well, I think the first game that had
Steam
it
version.
was Deathloop. 'Cause that's
Oh,
what I
that's right.
bought.
It
I
was. It
bought a
was.
PS5 controller to play that game with it to experience a PS5 controller before I even
Yeah.
had a PS5.
Right. It was Deathloop, and there was another one that Xbox bought. I don't know if it was another Bethesda game, but but then that was right after. Yeah, Bethesda or Microsoft bought Bethesda after that. But yeah, I certainly called it. I knew. I was like, of course. Why wouldn't Yeah. So if they're coming to Steam, they're definitely going to have the haptic feedback. So yeah. So that was like for sure on that one. But yeah, other than that, let's see what did I play besides Split Fiction? More Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Played a little bit of that today. Um I gave it a rest though, Mayo, for a few days. I
Mhm.
just I last time I talked about it, I was going to the wedding. I went through the wedding and attended the wedding, and of course shit went crazy at the wedding. And then like I don't know, there was this cut scene with, I assume it was like the king or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna. Oh, so then me and Hans Capon got thrown in jail. It's like fuck, back to square one. It felt like. So then, yeah, we were put in the dungeon, and I was like, son of a bitch, damn it. So then I had kind of stopped there, and so then I was playing some other stuff, but I'll get to that after uh talking about this game here, and try not to do too many spoilers here. I know I've been throwing a lot of spoilers out on Kingdom
Yeah, I
Come
haven't
Deliverance 2.
gotten very far in that game yet, unfortunately. It's like, kinda started bouncing into a couple of different games. Like, I think about it, about playing it and stuff, and then I just don't. It's like one of
It's
those
a
games I have to, like,
times
sit down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real time sink. I think you have to like, you have to really give yourself like, I don't know, like, man, like I'm gonna say 3 hours, man. I'm gonna throw it out there. You really need to just have no distractions for at least 3 hour sessions, I think. Because it'll go by fast, right? You really get brought into this world, right? You're just like, oh, before you know it, it's 11 p.m., right? So like,
Mhm.
yeah, like definitely set some time, turn the phone off, put the tablet away, right? And just kind of, you know, have some fun in this world. And yeah, so then we were in jail, Mail. I was like, crap. So then I had to get Hans's like, yeah. So basically, I had to like kind of rescue him, or like, but you kind of stayed friends through it, right? It wasn't like they were just like bitching at each other or what have you. And it was a really, really good like, you go to Castle Trotsky, and Otto or whatever the fucking king's name is like, he arrives, and it's a cool cut scene and a lot of good story there that happens. And again, not spoiling anything. And um, yeah. So then finally, like, I feel like it was like, to me, it almost felt like 25 hours later. It was like, okay, so I kind of like got to the point of what I needed to do from the beginning of the game.
Mhm.
Which was, deliver this message or whatever. Like, wow, that took a while. So it still like has me in like that first map. Like I had already, because now I'm at like this fort, like it's Fort Jack Off, or I don't even know what it's called. I'm close on that. It's not Jack Off, but Forgot the name of it. I had already been there, but like the door was locked or whatever. But now it's unlocked. I'm in there doing some stuff. Nothing. I don't think it's really anything important, but hey, I'm there to do something, and so I don't know, the bailiff or whoever the fucking guy is there. So yeah, and I had to kind of stop right there, but it was cool. Like I definitely got all the stuff that I had previously had, all my money. Matter of fact, that was optional, Mayo. I think I didn't even have to do it. Like everything was kind of in my personal chest or what have you. So while I was incarcerated, and yeah, it's good to be back with Hans. And I don't know how long I actually stay with him because I've seen some like later gameplay and like so he must go somewhere else.
Uh-huh.
But
I seem to like the game better when Hans is around. Like the interaction between the two of them is kind of funnier. It's a little more lighthearted.
yeah, yeah, and it, you know, like you have a. I feel like you got a better relationship like after you get to Castle Trotsky, and so yeah, I really thought like when we got thrown in jail, like that he was going to be really pissed at me or whatever. Like, oh fuck, you fucking landed us in jail again, opening your mouth, or you did something that landed us here, you motherfucker. So, but no, it didn't work out that way. So yeah, it worked out pretty good. And yeah, so I stopped there. I feel like I do want do another, you know, long session with this game. And yeah, so but oh, side note on that. So Saturday, Mayo, I was doing my Twitch thing and just going through Twitch, and I know, you know, like I'll watch a little bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or any other game. It doesn't matter, you know, something action or what have you. And so holy crap, guess who's streaming? Hans Capon was streaming.
Oh, really? Nice.
I think his last name's Campbell or something like that. And so yeah, like I brought it up on Twitch, and I'm like, and it even says like Hans Capon, blah blah, you know, like, and I'm like, huh, it even kind of looks like him. Like I've seen pictures of him. He looks like him.
Yeah, I posted in the Discord a while back. They did a little movie, and the two characters look like the people from the game. You know, the two main people, and so it was just kind of funny. You know, I was like, oh, there he is. You know, on that movie. So I can imagine seeing him stream.
Yeah, so it was cool, like, because you know, like he has, I don't want to say a distinct voice, but definitely when he talks, and I'm like, that's definitely him. I thought it was just some like, I don't know, tribute guy kind of acting like him, but no, that was him. And then he streamed the game for like 3.5 hours. I was like, right the fuck on. So that was super cool. So definitely gave him a, you know, a follow. So yeah, a lot of fun. But other than that, Mayo, while I was taking a break from that game, I played a little bit of the Division 2. I think it was like $10 on Steam.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, remember I used to love playing that game, and I'd be like, Mayo, get in here, we got to play this game.
Yeah, we played it quite a bit.
And I had already played like
playing together.
Yeah, I had already played a lot on Xbox, and I really never. I don't even think I owned the first one. I can't remember if I did purchase the first one on Xbox, but it was kind of really before I had a real PC. And then, yeah, but then I played a lot on, might have been on Xbox One or whatever. And then I got pretty far, and then I bought it on the Uplay store for some reason. And it might have just been a little bit cheaper over there. It might have been like $30 or something. So picked it up over there. I started playing on it, and then I want to say I finished the game, I think, also, and then also including the DLC, which was like they only made one, which was like Warlords of New York or something. And I feel like it's not a long game. Like I feel like you could probably get through this game in less than 30 hours. I don't think there was
for sure.
Probably less. I feel like there was not a ton of grinding, but there's a lot you can do, right? Like you can grind for better gear, and you know, and now there's raids, and I think they even have like I don't want to call it a horde mode, but it's like, I don't know, you climb stairs. I don't even know how to do that in this game, like floor 1, floor 2 or something, or yeah, like it goes, I don't know how high it goes, but then you're just fighting waves of enemies at these floors. I've only seen gameplay, haven't I kind of finished it before I think that DLC even came out. And then there's the Dark Zone. Is that what it's called? What's that one where you can go in and get loot? I
Yeah,
think it
that's
is
the
the
Dark
Dark
Zone.
Zone.
Yep.
Yeah. Tried that a couple times and I'm like, meh. I don't know. Meh.
It
It's
probably
okay.
was. I wonder what it's like nowadays because like how many people are probably in there, like compared to back when the game was in its prime. So I wonder like, because then when you had to like try to get the helicopter to get out and you had people camping, the area and they'd be watching the helicopter and they'd try and kill you as you're
Yeah.
getting on the helicopter and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I think it reminds me, it's exactly like Call of Duty Warzone's plunder mode. I think it's the same thing. I think all you have to do is attach it, and then you can, once you
Mm.
attach the item or whatever, you're free to kind of move around the map or something. I think they can't shoot the copter down, but I think they have to kill you, right? Before the
You
helicopter takes
attach.
off.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty sure like they can't mess with the item or the helicopter or something. So um yeah, but then there's like it's a yeah, I don't know how many minutes it is or whatever. You have to stick around. So yeah, I've seen gameplay of it. I'm like, okay. Pretty sure it's a balanced thing. So even if you went in at level 4, um whenever that unlock, let's just say level 5, right? And assuming that Dark Zone unlocks, it doesn't matter if that other person's level 30. I think it like, it'll kind of equal itself out or whatever. Everything's kind
Yeah,
of
like the damage
reduced.
kinda reduces the
Yeah.
damage or whatever done to you.
Yeah. So it's not like they have like this huge advantage, I don't think. So probably just bring in the right weapon. I think it's just learning the map, right? So
Yeah.
they're not big maps, so you just have to learn it. Um but yeah, I used my other account and like I was like, why not? Then I'm just like Gunny Chief 1 or something. And I'll probably just go through this. And oh, by the way, that was like the premium edition, the $12. So since this game is so old. So yeah, that definitely includes like the DLC as well. So and yeah, I never could finish that last part solo. So I think I had Andrew come in
Mhm.
to come in and help you with that on Xbox. And yeah, so that's where I finished it over there. And then I think you on the Uplay store, some other I have another couple friends over there like I haven't played with in years, but yeah. So and I'll do the same thing on Steam. So just a fun game. It harkens back, Mayo. If you remember on the early PlayStation, it might have been PlayStation 2. It might have been Siphon Filter, or was that on PlayStation 1? I don't remember if that
I
game
don't
even
remember
sounds
either.
familiar to you. So yeah, I'm gonna Google that real quick and just kind of see. Let's see, where was Siphon Filter? Siphon Filter. That was PlayStation, right? Well, it says here PlayStation 4, but no. Um, yeah, it says 4 and 5. I mean, it's still on there, but let's see. I think it's PlayStation 3. That's what it was, man. It was the PS3. So is where it first came out. Initially
Okay.
released in 1999. So, oh my gosh, look at the graphics now. So, yeah, back then it was freaking awesome. But yeah, I think other than that, man, I think that's really it. Just besides some indie games and stuff. So, yeah, mostly just
Yeah,
those
yeah, I
3.
haven't played anything else besides really, like I said, Split Fiction was the biggest thing I played this week.
Yeah.
That was that time we spent together mainly yesterday. It's just been kind of a busy week.
Right. So, yeah, let's talk about some news, Mayo. The news.
Meh. Beep, 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 beep.
News time. All right, what do we got for some news here? Any good fresh news over here? I do have an article here, Mayo, to read. I was looking through this because we had played Split Fiction. But this is more of an opinion piece. But this is from Split Fiction's Joseph, or is it Yosef Fares? He says that publishers should really trust the developer. So he does say here that he's continuing the theme in a new interview, speaking to the BBC. Fair said, publishers need to step up and really trust the developer. But at the same time, he says developers themselves have to have a clear vision and stick with what they believe in. He also admitted that what he says might not to apply to everyone. Yeah, well, I'm already thinking here, Mayo, with like money, right? Yeah,
Right.
that's where it doesn't apply, right? But after all, he runs his own studio, Hazelight, and his company's independently owned. I am, what do you say, a different breed, he said. As an example of sticking to his guns, I'm going to call him Fares. I don't know if it's Fares. Said when he directed his first game, 2013's Brother of Tale of Two Sons, he received feedback that the game was super bad in early test. However, Fares stood his ground and said, "They're wrong. They're wrong because I know it's great." Fares said his mantra is that if a developer feels passionate and inspired what they're making, then people love it as well. I don't expect everybody to be like me, but that's me with extreme confidence, he said. We're sticking to the vision of what we believe in. Stick with the vision and go with it. After making Brothers, Will Starbreeze Fares started Hazelight and has released 3 more games, including A Way Out, It Takes Two, Split Fiction. They're all co-op only games, and this has become the calling card of Hazelight's Split Fiction is apparently off to a good start, having to have sold 2 billion copies in 1 week and receiving a rare review, including a 10 out of 10 from GameSpot. Ooh. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know what? I would say if you have that, like, if you've got like the publisher, right, with the, with the money and the time it takes to make a game,
Mhm.
if you're gonna be like, this game's gonna take me 4 years to make or whatever, like, well, like if you're like, Hazelight Studios or whatever, like, hopefully, EA has got your back, or Microsoft or Sony or whoever it might be, that's actually funding this project. So I don't know about funding, but yeah, they probably are if they're publishing it. So yeah, 100%. So I'm, yeah, I think I'm happy for him. So made a really good game. On to the next one. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 3 is officially in development. It says here this Space Marine 2 was a hit, and that means Space Marine 3 is already on its way. Saber Interactive and Games Workshop announced today that the next installment in the legendary franchise is now officially in development. Space Marine 2 has proven to be a transformative game for Saber Interactive. CEO Matthew Karch said, "It is an accumulation of everything we have learned about game development in our 25 years in the business. We're now starting to develop Space Marine 3, a game that carries with its tremendous expectations from our rapidly expanding fan base. While we will continue to support and grow the Space Marine 2 universe over the coming years, we will take all our learnings and apply them to an even bigger and more spectacular game for the third installment." Says here, no details have been revealed at this point, but John Burt, deputy CEO of publisher Focus Entertainment, said players can look forward to an immersive campaign, multiplayer mode, and innovation that will redefine the standards of third-person action games. It does say, what does it say here? I'm just going to read this. One minor spoiler here. There's a picture of Titus in the promo image. So it looks like he pulled through in Space Marine 2. He didn't die. Yeah, so yeah, that's awesome. I never finished this game now, so it's a good game. I feel like I want to go back and finish it. So
I've
it's
never
definitely
played any of them.
I finished the first one, and I think that one was solely single player. It was a lot of fun. Oh no, it did have a multiplayer. I take that back. So there was a PvP in that game in the first one. And yeah, played a little bit of that after I finished the campaign. But this one, no, I kind of I got partway through it, and then I don't know, maybe something else grabbed my attention. So, I think I was kind of like playing something else on Xbox. It might have been trying to think if it was Harry Potter or might have been another AAA game that took my time, or yeah, something over on the PC. So pulled in so many different directions, when so many games come out. So and then it just kind of goes on the back burner, but it's fun. I think it was a good time for that game to come out, and this is just my opinion. I think because it kind of like feels that like Gears of War vibe. It really does. Like it, if you play
Okay.
through this, like you're like, oh, it's kind of like I feel like it's like Outriders, except you're solo. If you're playing like a solo campaign, just playing one
Mhm.
player. So yeah, and it definitely plays out like a Gears of War. Maybe not like grandiose in the way of the story, but you're just like out there just killing creatures and bugs, and yeah. So a lot of action. But yeah, I feel like I want to go back and do some of this stuff co-op as well. And I don't think in this one there's a PvP mode, but there is like a horde mode. So yeah, I've seen gameplay of it, and it looks really fun. Like it's got a few different things it does differently, other than just like, okay, next wave, next wave, next wave. So, we all just kind of spread out and go nuts, and yeah, just kill enemies or whatever. I think there's some, I don't want to call it puzzles or whatever, but yeah, there's some things it does differently. So hell yeah, bring it on. I'll probably buy the third one as well. So next time, Mayo, we get on, we got to do some co-op on it. So we'll both buy it.
Yeah, I'll have to check them
And
out.
we'll get Ghost Nico and a few others in there. Moving on to the next one we've got. So this is a former Treyarch studio co-head, Black Ops 3 director, is heading up a new first-party PlayStation studio. So 5 years after leaving Treyarch, former studio co-chief and Call of Duty producer Jason Blundell is heading up a new first-party PlayStation studio called Dark Outlaw Games. Dark Outlaw Games has been working away in the shadows for a while, and we've got something to talk about. We'll step out into the light. Blundell said in an interview with Jeff Gerstmann, if you don't know who Jeff Gerstmann is, I believe he was from Giant Bomb. So I think he's independent now. I don't think he's part of Giant Bomb, or if even Giant Bomb's even a thing nowadays. I think it is, but I don't think it's as big as it used to be. And so yeah, I see him on Twitter, and I still follow him over on Twitch, and yeah, I think he just plays a lot of retro games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and but yeah, he's a good guy. He's been in the industry for a long time. But it says here, the story for me is about the game, not about the studio. So the reasons we're not doing a fanfare or shouting out from the rooftops is, let's get something right. It's such a privilege to be able to do it with Sony as a first-party studio. Sony doesn't set up first-party studios all the time. To have that privilege is humbling. It's really nice, and I'm excited about it. Blundell also said Dark Outlaw has been staffing up and keeping it kind of low key to this point, but declined to say anything specific about the studio's current status, much less what it's working on. We're getting the team to gel, getting the ideas clicking. I'm a programmer at heart, so let's test those assumptions. Is it working? Or is it working? You're trying to hit the escape velocity. Blundell has a long list of credits to his name, beginning, just as he said, as a programmer at Starlancer in 2000. But he's best known for his long run of Call of Duty at Treyarch. He served as a producer on Call of Duty 3, Black Ops, directed 2 zombie maps for Black Ops 2, and directed both the campaign and zombie modes for Black Ops 3. So I'll just stop that there. But yeah, what do you think? Probably definitely like a first person shooter, I'm gonna say.
Probably, yeah. This is gonna be their Modern Warfare killer, right? No, so they
This will
don't
be their
have to anymore.
This will be their COD killer right here, their Halo killer. Yeah, they're gonna kill Halo with this one. But yeah, I thought that was cool. So look forward to that. I think I even saw Mail. I think there was even an article that talked about Sony on their next whatever direct has some things to announce as far as So yeah, I wonder if it is from the studio. All right, Mayo. 33 Immortals. Have you heard of this game at all?
No.
I think I saw it at like their Xbox's whatever E3 presentation. I know they don't call it E3 anymore. But so 33 Immortals, it's an upcoming action roguelike video game developed and published by Thunder Lotus Games. The game is set to be released for Windows, Xbox Series X, and Series S. And I also included here the Epic Store. And you're going to get early access on March 18th. So it's not, that's going to be different because this one's not going to be on Steam or PlayStation. But yeah, there's no early access for Steam. So maybe Epic has secured the early access, but definitely if you have Game Pass, if you go look on there, it tells me not available. So it's not even anything I can preload. So by the time you hear this, you will be able to load it up on Xbox. So, and I don't know if it's just for Game Pass holders or if anybody can access this, or even if there's a price. So yeah, just go to Epic Store or your Xbox and double check that if there is a paid option for it. So yeah, because it doesn't mention anything about it. So, but anyway, 33 Immortals is a co-op action roguelike for 33 players. But I think, Mayo, I read that, right? And then I went to the Epic Store and then the other websites or whatever. I think you're basically controlling all 33 players. I think it's an auto battler is what it is. Yeah, it's you would have to see it for yourself. It would be hard for me to explain. But it does say here, play as a damned soul and rebel against God's final judgment. Pick up and raid cooperative to survive hordes of monsters. Defeat massive bosses and face the wrath of God in a fight for your eternal life.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you control, like, I don't know, you have like a group with you. It's like top down, kind of. I'm like looking at the video of it here.
Yeah. Yeah, it says cooperate to survive. But yeah, if you look at the tags, it doesn't say anything about multiplayer or co-op or anything. So yeah, I'm assuming what it is like you're probably gonna get all these weapons and trinkets or whatever, and then they have like these things for formations of how you set up your characters. And I think there's also side scrolling along with top down. So yeah, I think we'll have to actually play this before really even having an understanding of what the game is. But as far as I know, I'm going to say it's a single player game.
It's kind of weird they left Steam out. Oh, I don't know if that's a good decision or not, in all honesty.
You know what I think it is? I think, yeah, maybe Epic. It might be like some sort of cooperation with Epic. Not so much like they secured the whatever early access rights to it. So I want to say there was another game that did the same similar thing or whatever. So I don't know, man. Do you ever fire up a game and it'll say like, and you'll see like in the credits at the beginning of the game, it'll say like Epic Games or something. Like
yeah, I've
obviously,
seen it before.
almost like maybe they're using that Unreal Engine, but then at the same time, like yeah, like there's probably some sort of cooperation. I don't want to say like yeah, it's like it's a right or something, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This is the reason for it. So, but yeah, I'll check that out. Well, if I don't check it out tomorrow, I'll definitely get to it this week. So, yeah, play that, see what it's all about over on the Game Pass. But anyway, next one we have here, Mayo, Pokemon TCG. What is that, Mayo? I forgot. That's that game on Steam.
Trading card game.
The trading card game, scalping. So scalping is so bad that official stores are removing packaging. What are official stores? Are we talking like Target, Best Buy, Walmart?
Yeah, I have no idea.
So it says here, as we approach the release of Pokemon, the trading card game, next set, Journey Together, the card game is in a really weird place. The sealed cards bought either for playing the tabletop game or for collecting are broadly unavailable thanks to an even worsening feverish demand that is seeing scalpers buying everything to resale. More Pokemon centers, the physical cards that sell all things Pokemon, had made the extraordinary move to open product before they even sell it. Despite promises to massively increase production, the simple act of buying a new Pokemon TCG cards is often impossible, ruining the hobby for millions of children and casual players. While embarrassing scenes of scalpers physically fighting each other, I did see that, Mayo. I saw like there was this one. I think they were in Canada up at Target, and they were throwing fists up there right in front of the Target. And yeah, that was that was like, really? But this is nothing new, right? This is, yeah. I feel like Pokemon's like the most violent game here. Or the game that causes the most violence almost. Something has to give if the card game is to maintain and viability for its widely popular live game. To wit, Pokemon Center stores are removing the packaging from TCG products before they can even sell them to make them harder to resell. As reported by VGC, joining Pokemon Centers in Japan, Singapore, Pokemon Center is now also removing the plastic seals from the box products to dissuade scalpers. As VGC observes, this means it's the first time the English language version of TCG is being treated this way. It says here, okay, yeah, it's important to note that the permanent Pokemon Centers are unique to Japan and Singapore, because I'm thinking I've never seen or heard one.
Me either.
Yeah, which itself remains deeply peculiar given the astonishing popularity of all US and UK pop-up venues, to the degree where people have to buy time tickets, sometimes via lottery, to attend the stores. All US retailers are therefore third party and in a more complicated position when it comes to removing packaging. However, it's certainly doable given it only happens at the point of purchase. Yeah, there was a video like well over a month ago. I'm going to say a month and a half ago, where I think they were like coming in like full boxes into it was like the Costco, and people were just like throwing each other down the aisle, right? Like to get these boxes. It was insane. But yeah. Oh, I did watch a video yesterday, and it was like at a whatever. It was probably a Pokemon convention or card trading game convention. And so this guy, like, I think he tried to play it off. So basically, he came in and he had like a binder, and he had like a full set of whatever, something recent, and it might have been TCG or whatever. And so he had a full set of it, and so the vendor who will either buy stuff or whatever, he goes, yeah. He goes, so tell me like where, like, how did you like, kind of get this set or get it all together? Plus he had like some other special cards or whatever with it. And he wanted $11,000 for this set. But even like the vendor guy was like, hey, look, like, I don't have anybody like wanting to buy full sets. There's not a lot of people out there that want to buy a full set, but like he goes, the best I can kind of do for you right now is like 6,400 or something. Like he goes, I know I'm lowballing it, but you can always come back. And
right.
And even like the guy selling it was like, well, I just kind of like, I just had some friends, like I got it within like a week. Like, yeah, basically a week I got this together, Like, I don't know. I think like he probably spent, I bet he spent like 14 grand. What do you think, Mayo? Like, I think he's BSing,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I couldn't even tell you how much like a pack of Pokemon cards even cost. Like,
yeah. I'm thinking he probably spent 14 grand, whether it was online or through other retailers and driving around to different Target and Walmart stores, Like
Mhm.
he tried to, like he just kind of played it off, like, I had friends they just started giving me cards, and then before I knew it, I had a full set, plus some specials, right? And there was like probably, I'm gonna say, how many are in like a binder? I'm trying to think, there was like 4, 8, 12, and there was like 14 special cards, man. Like these were like rares or whatever they want to call them. So yeah, that went with that set. So yeah. But anyway, he's like, all right, maybe I'll come back, maybe I won't, like, yeah, I don't think he's going to take 6,400. So, but yeah, crazy Pokemon.
Scalpers ruin it for everybody.
Telling you. All right, next article, Mail. I was, I don't know if you've ever, I was looking in here and I'm making sure I have the right date on this game, because if you go to Steam, let's see here. This, oh gosh, this stupid thing here. Crap. This is like this freaking, this website sucks. I'm gonna go to the next one over here. So, Zenless Zone Zero. So I think this is a mobile game. I don't know if have you seen this, Mayo, on the Android store? Zenless Zone Zero. I think it won like game or art mobile game of the year. It might have been Zenless Zone
No,
Zero,
I haven't
or
seen
it was
it.
like a runner up or whatever. I think it's a Japanese game. So their latest update adds cat testicle jiggle physics. So yeah, the testicle jiggle is what it adds. Let's see here. It says here, some eagle-eyed fans have discovered that following that the Gotcha game's latest update, its ambient cats now stroll gamely about the place, where their testicles wiggling majestically from side to side. It says here, Xenozone Zero's 1.6 update, Among the Forgotten Ruins, launched last week with its various additions, including enhancement to pedestrian behavior in Lumina Square to make it more dynamic and diverse. Only it turns out pedestrians' behavior wasn't the only thing that has suddenly been enhanced to become a lot more dynamic. Fans were surprised enough when HoYoverse decided it was going to bless every in-game feline with large round testicles last summer, and now the developer, which very much appears to be lied by the model, if it can jiggle, it will wiggle. Targlia and his quivering crotch have taken things to perhaps inevitable conclusions. They added jiggle physics to cat balls, one fan declared on Zenless Zone Zero's official subreddit, before laughing in a side-eye moon-faced emoji in a 22-second video highlighting the discovery by aggressively zooming in on the passing cat's independently swinging bollocks in situationally adjacent butthole. I don't know. This is not really news, Mayo, but you may be asking yourself about now, to which I respond by laughing maniacally and then evaporating into thin air. So I don't know. I watched the video here. I don't know why. Why would you be down on the cat? It's like it's on the ground. I don't know. So, but I guess if you're already playing like a cat lady or whatever, you're into this sort of thing.
Right? You're like,
Yeah.
hey, come here, kitty.
So, and wait, why do all the cats have? What about the female cats? I don't know. Are they all males? What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. I'm going to try and go back to this other article here before it sends me some spam over here. This is an indie game developer that hit 100,000 sales on Steam. So it says here, in an ever-evolving landscape of gaming news, indie developers are proving that hard work and creativity can lead to impressive achievements. This is just recent that a solo game developer named Itchby Hama, I'm just going to call it Hama, celebrated a significant milestone, selling over 100,000 copies of their game, Dwarves, Glory, Death, and Loot. This is on Steam. This newcomer to the game development scene has sparked plenty of joy and enthusiasm with the gaming community. serving a notable success story that showcased both the power of indie games and the supportive network of gamers sharing their tales of triumph and learning experiences. Says here the indie game world is rife with stories of long development toiling away in their basements or perhaps on their couches while munching on pizza rolls. Hama is also among those whose patience and persistence have paid off big time. Only a few months after launching Dwarves Glory Death and Loot in an early access on Steam, the game has achieved a whopping 100,000 units sold. The captivated blend of roguelike features and strategic resource management have struck a chord with players, transforming from an unpolished dream into a chart-topping success. So I don't know. I don't know if have you seen this game or heard of it, Mayo? So I just wish listed it, but yeah. But I went to Steam and it said it came out in like July of 2023. So I don't know.
So it's been around for a while, yeah.
So maybe it just came out of early access. I don't know.
Yeah,
Really
it says
normally,
it has been in early access since August of 23. So,
but okay, but it said that. But normally, doesn't Steam or when you put a game on Steam, like you put launch date, boom, like you would put it. I don't know. That's usually how people do it. So, like it would have been 2025, right? So I don't know. Weird. But anyway, just a couple news articles here. I do have some gaming handheld news over here. So this is it might be Steam Deck over here. Says here Ubisoft reverses Steam Deck support for Assassin's Creed Shadows. So it says here in February, Shadows technology director has said that at launch the game would not be compatible with Steam Deck due to the fact that it is below our minimum specs for PC. However, in a statement published on its social media channels on Wednesday, Ubisoft confirmed that Steam Deck will now be able to run Shadows on the day it releases later this month. Many of you have been asking about the Steam Deck. We are happy to say that we are supporting Steam Deck at launch and are currently awaiting the level of classification from Valve, it said. AC Shadows is the first major Ubisoft game to release day one on Steam since 2019. Previously, the publisher prioritized its own digital store as well as the Epic Game Store at launch. Late last year, the company...
I was going to say, that's just like a smart move because, they keep saying how they need this game to succeed. Like after Star Wars and all them stuff, games haven't really done that well. They need this game really to do well. And I mean, launching on Steam is probably the best place you're going to want to do that,
Yeah, and but also, Mail, like since I haven't really, well, I mean, because you've been on Steam this whole time, did they? I'm just trying to think. Did they not release other games that were not on? Did they always come to the Uplay store first, or what? I can't remember. Like if other AC games.
I think they were on Uplay first for a while, and then they would come over to Steam. Or if you did have it on Steam, it would launch the Uplay launcher.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it required it. Yeah. It required a launcher and sure. Or, well, not so much a launcher, but I guess your profile on Uplay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I wonder if this one, I guess what they're saying is maybe this one will not require that because on a Steam Deck, there is no official Uplay. Let me just put it that way. Like you could probably install it. It's not coming out vanilla. I'll just put it that way. So, just like Epic, it's not on the Steam Deck. I had to use something called Decky Loader to get my Steam games on, or get my Epic games on there. So, yeah, it's not. Keep in mind that the Steam Deck is Steam OS, right? It's not Windows, so you have to download those things separately. And then, Mayo, like, how do you even get those games to play? Well, go watch some YouTube videos, and Reddit is pretty helpful, to kind of help add non-Steam games. So there's programs out there that'll help you. So, but yeah, just kind of read on here. AC Shadows is the first one since 2019. Let's see. Anything else? Last month, Ubisoft said it was aware that a significant number of people had been able to obtain AC Shadows nearly a month ahead of its release and claimed that any footage being shared online was not representative of the launch game. We are aware of players have accessed, it says here, the development team is still working on patches to prepare the experience for launch. Yeah, of course, I just read that part, but any leaks are
They're
unfortunate.
going to say that, right? Because there's a copy of the game out. They're going to be like, oh, but you got to have the newest version. Wait, you need a reason to buy this game.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know what? I'm gonna pick this up, man. So that's why I think I only bought like the Division on Steam because I think it's $70 on Steam. So
Mhm.
yeah, and I think it's out like what? I don't know if it's tomorrow or Thursday or when the actual game is out, but yeah.
The 20th, I think.
So in a few
Tuesday?
days. Yeah, yeah. So probably Thursday and then Wednesday. But I'll definitely pick it up this weekend when I have actual time to play it. So looking forward to it. But yeah. And I just want to point out too that even though like it says Mail that the game is not Steam Deck certified, there's probably a way to play it on a Steam Deck as well. So I think I was trying to
Well, right
play a game.
away, I just clicked on Steam and it said Steam Deck verified right away.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think he was saying that it's not going to be like a day one certified or whatever.
Hmm.
So it probably would have been like playable, like there's an actual like playable scene or whatever. So yeah, I think when it's really like certified is like that's when it's like fully optimized for the deck, no issues playing with the controller or a mouse, right? If you choose like if you want to have a Bluetooth mouse or whatever, and a keyboard or whatever, right? That's when it's truly like a certified game, and it's probably running at 60 FPS. So, or whatever you choose, right? Like yeah, you could choose 20 FPS or 80 or 90. I think it's up to 90 FPS. So probably doesn't run that much, but you could probably get a frame gen mod or something to, get that a little higher if you want. So, maybe lower the voltage, which I don't recommend. Don't do that. So don't fuck with the voltage. Just get the frame gen mod and a few other things. You'll be good. So the game will be playable. But yeah, do that for other titles, not this one. So yeah, that's good. I think like I said, Mayo, like that's one thing I'm just gonna bring that up real quick. I'm a little concerned about that Xbox handheld, even that third party, that I think it's just gonna be a little misleading for some fans, They think, I'll just play every Xbox game on there when it's not really technically an Xbox, games, right? Like, yeah, it's more of an OEM like third party stuff, but not everything's going to run on day one. Let me tell you that. So, or be, in a super playable state. But speaking of handhelds, we do have some other news here. Anyway, I brought this up. Qualcomm. I think they used to make like cell phones back in the day and radios.
Yeah,
And
they must by the name Snapdragon I see on there. That's a lot of phone
yeah, so
GPU
they
type stuff.
They did debut a new Snapdragon G handheld gaming PC chip to compete with Intel and AMD. So I didn't even know there was like a third party out there. I forgot. So Qualcomm expands its Snapdragon G series with 3 new gaming chips targeting handheld devices. The trio consists of Snapdragon 3 Gen 3, Snapdragon 2 Gen 2, and Snapdragon G1 Gen 2 that will power the next generation of offerings from OEMs, including a Neo, the One X player, and Retroid Pocket. That One X player, Mayo, I've seen that. It's basically a tablet with the what's that thing called, the bone something, like it's basically just like, it reminds me of the freaking little Switch controllers on the sides, like the
Okay.
Joy Cons. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's basically a tablet, is what it is. So, I guess it would technically be a handheld. So, but it really is just an Android device. So, an Android tablet with controllers. That's just my opinion. And those things are expensive. They're like, I think they were like $1,200, Mayo.
Well,
No. Yeah, but I think it's like I don't know. It had a lot of storage and yeah, and it like I think it was like an all-in-one kind of PC or whatever, but it did have like a high-end the Snapdragon fucking chip in it or whatever. So it probably would run. You probably could install Windows on it if it doesn't come with it already. So it might have been like a laptop that's been dissected. So yeah, it'll cost you. Says here regarding features from the Snapdragon Gen 3, it's Qualcomm's first G series chip to embrace Lumen, Unreal 5's fully dynamic global illumination and reflection system. The chip retains its predecessor, Fast Connect 7800 module, offering Wi Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.3 support. However, the upgrade and Adreno A32, which will likely feature a high clock speed, has allowed the Snapdragon Gen 3 to support displays up to the QHD plus 144 hertz, upping the resolution from the Snapdragon Gen 3X Gen 2. It's a lot of crazy. But then it just kind of has this chart down here from showing the G series chips specifications.
Not a bad looking
Um,
little console thingy though. I mean,
It doesn't.
that
Does it
Gen
actually show it? I don't actually
yeah,
see anything.
scroll down, and it shows the Snapdragon Gen 3.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So the little pocket. I don't know. It looks. I don't like how it's
I like
everything
the
is.
2 better, honestly.
You like how everything is just kind of flat on the screen, how it is with the D-pad and the
I like it on the
XY.
Gen 2 one. It's kind of rounded edges and stuff, and it's just kind of
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. But I'm sure you could probably play with a controller as well. I
yeah.
mean, these are controllers. These are just kind of like these are just on the top. They're not on the sides or anything like that. So I'm sure it has shoulder buttons and maybe some back buttons on it, but interesting. Might as well just read a little bit down here, man. It says here Snapdragon Gen 3 has confirmed the Power 3 upcoming devices. Okay, I already read that part, but yeah, I guess it just kind of keeps going. Oh, okay, there's the Gen 2. So a little similar. I think the D-pad is on the top of it. So yeah.
Yeah, a little more rounded.
Yeah. So the Gen 3, I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I like those or not. So kind of depends on what they're actually running. So and then these Snapdragon other gens or whatever are like Game Boys or something. So that's what they look like. But I don't know. So what do you think, Mail? Like any handhelds in the future? I know you your son has
Nah.
the Steam Deck, so
No,
maybe
I
the
don't really
ROG
don't use them
Ally
that
or
much. Yeah. I still have the Steam Deck here. It's actually sitting right here. Like, opened it in a long time. But
yeah. I
yeah,
did
it
update
just
mine
kind of sits
today.
there. If I
Played some
do anything,
Brotato.
if I do anything, I would probably just buy the Switch too, honestly, because then I just turn it into a console at home.
Yeah. That'll be your hybrid console, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Interesting. But
Yeah, we'll see. My son asked me if I was going to pick up a Switch too. I don't know if you plan on picking it up or not, but I initially planned on doing it, but now I'm going to be off this summer. I'm not going to be working, so I'm going to be having some surgery, so my money's going to be a little tighter. So I might not pick it up right away.
you know, Mail, I told you I had the Switch 1, just was not I think it was more nostalgia as a child, but you know, and for the year that I had it, it was like, okay, cool, you know. Mario Kart was I think probably like one of my favorites. But
Hmm.
other than that, I just couldn't get into any other, you know,
I have ones on there
any Mario or
I like
Luigi
Mario
or
Party games. I like the Mario Karts. I like the Mario games, like the new, the last Mario Brother. What was it called now? Wonder. That was really good.
yes.
So like
Yeah.
I enjoyed those.
Yeah. I don't know. I just always like yeah. I guess I'm kind of over the not into the Nintendo stuff anymore, so but yeah, and the Steam Deck was more like, "Oh, I buy it once on the on the PC or whatever, I can play it on the Steam Deck." Well, not necessarily, right? Like I talked about, right? Can't just play
Hmm.
anything, right? Not everything is working or playable, so right, unless But I did take my deck today. I did made sure my everything's running good, and if I need the frame gen mod, so for anything like probably like again, if I got Harry Potter on there, or I don't know if Kingdom Come Deliverance needs it or whatever. So there was a couple of games that I did install it on. I can't think of anything offhand, but I was able to put like like some FSR mods on there as well. So since this is like not an Intel product, right? So yeah, and some of those games require it. So, but I'm getting the hang of it, Mayo. Oh, I was going to ask you, Mayo. Like, I finally did it for the first time. Is it the Steam link or whatever? You put it on your phone, you put it on your iPad or wherever. So I don't know. Have
Yeah,
you
it should
ever
be.
done it? Have you ever tried it?
I used to have a Steam Link, but I haven't tried it in so long. My internet here is not that good.
Okay.
They're in the process of upgrading it. We'll have like fiber here soon, but yeah, my
After they
internet, my
tore down
Wi-Fi
half your
hasn't.
wall, I would
I
think,
know, right?
might as well install fiber, But but yeah, I finally did it today. I was like, I got the app, and it just yeah, it connected pretty good. I think I played some Rotato and something else, but yeah, I I was gonna go get like my Xbox controller and connect it onto there, or the PlayStation controller, and just kind of see how it works. But I just use like the onboard controller, so buttons. So yeah, worked pretty good. I got fast enough internet, so works pretty good. I was able to disconnect pretty easy, and yeah, works as advertised. I'm not even going to try it on my phone. That's a little too small, but
Yeah.
the iPad Pro, that worked really well. So yeah, but yeah, other than that, I think that's all I have. Let's see, anything else here? We've got the Epic Store. You can get a free game called Mortal Shell. I believe that's a Souls-like game.
It is.
So I played it. I think it was on Game Pass, or it probably still is. I didn't care for it, man. Not that it seemed difficult. It just didn't seem fun to me. So
Yeah.
I didn't like the graphics on it or anything. So yeah. So go grab that one for free anyway. I think it already said it's in my library. So the last couple of games have already said they're in my library. I feel like they're recycling free games here.
Yeah,
What's
they
going
are.
on? Like, unless I doubt I bought this game because I already had it on Steam Deck. I mean, on
No, I'm pretty sure it's in
Game
my
Pass.
library as well.
Yeah. And then Steam does have a free game this week. It's called Party Club. So go get that one. That one's free. Uh, let's see, what is that one? That one's probably it's definitely a co-op. It might be a co-op cooking game. Who knows? So check that out. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, I forgot to mention. Where is the Jesus at? Did I even mention that? He's out
No, we
somewhere.
didn't.
I think he's in
He's
California.
Yeah, he's out there looking for you in real life, I think.
I told him be careful. The roads are slick out there. He's like, I'm coming from Oregon. We got lots of rain, but I was thinking more of the snow mail is what I was thinking in my head,
Mhm.
because I know he had to come over, probably come through Redding, California, which isn't like a super high elevation, but I definitely saw like a lot of snow there this weekend. But they probably cleared up most of the freeway, most of the interstate got cleared up. But yeah, so you probably didn't really need snow chains. I'm sure you probably grabbed them. He will probably have to go over some grades to get back up into Oregon.
Yeah, that's something I wouldn't think about if I was traveling out there. Like, maybe it's just second nature for you guys to think of that, but I wouldn't be thinking about that this time of year.
What, in March you don't have a lot of snow there in Ohio?
No, not really.
No, I mean, well, shoot, yeah, Lake or Highway 80 Donner Summit. I think that's probably closed. They close that during this time of the year. So I mean, they close it to clean the road and shovel all the snow off of it. So yeah, I just saw on my X feed that yeah, they probably got like 5 feet of snow. So yeah, probably sometimes up until May, the month of
Wow.
May. Yeah. So it's pretty high elevation up there. So anytime it rains, it's going to snow up there. So yeah. And then some of that snow, I know we've kind of been in like this drought phase or whatever. like that snow will stick around till like July or August, like on the top of the mountains of stuff, right?
Mhm.
Where people are skiing or whatever. So it's been a good time for people that go skiing and snowboarding. But yeah, I did go up there. When I go there last month, but it wasn't snowing, so that was a nice fun trip up there. So um, there was some snow up in Virginia City, but not a whole lot. Just a nice little road trip. So, but other than that, man, I think that's all I've got. What about you? Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, all right. I think that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody, and go find Jesus over as Jesus Walks a Lot on everything, and me as Gunny Chief. Of course, I'm Gunny Chief 1 now over there on. Well, I'm on Steam, of course, as Gunny Chief, but yeah, Gunny Chief 1 on my Uplay account, I guess. So, because I've got 2 different accounts over there for some reason. So, and where do we find you, Mayo?
The best place to find me is on Discord. You can find me as the Mayo. Most of the gaming platforms, I'm the Mayo or the Mayo one. Probably on Steam again this week, playing some Split Fiction with somebody, seeing how that works if I play with somebody else, or Gunny if we continue to play our playthrough, or what. We'll figure it out, but definitely want to play some more of this game.
Sweet. Yeah, check me out for my gameplay on AC Shadows. All right, guys, we're out of here. Peace out. Bye.
See ya.